Jet Set, Groovy. Jet Set Radio.
This is not reset.
In the most challenging role yet.
I guess you could tell I've been watching and re-enjoying my love for Jet Set Radio Future. The very first game I got from my original Xbox. But that's neither here nor there. I actually cannot play Jet Set Radio Future anymore. I would need to jump through some hoops and stuff to get that game. But welcome one and all, please sit around. We have plenty of space and we're gonna start with Ace Attorney in a minute. I'm just making sure of some things in the background. My name is Nick Cobra and I am your host for today. Thank you so much for coming in. So, okay. And I want to thank 4Gatherers for the follow that just happened right now. I probably didn't hear the thing going on for the thing, but thank you for the follow up. Thank you for the follow. Okay, I really don't have anything interesting to say, except of course I have updated my schedule. For those who were following me before, I was streaming basically every day as kind of a test, but now as I'm going to be streaming more on a more consistent basis, I'm actually going to slow down the days, and I will be streaming 4 days a week. Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so let me just I can talk to this around as I continue in the game. I want to get into the game, so let me just do this. And I am going to drop the music at this moment. And we begin. Welcome back to the Greatest Attorney. I am trying to remember where I last left off. It's been 5 days since I touched this game. And last time I was half asleep. And I'm still half asleep. I don't think I haven't slept well for this past 7 days. That's what you get for you when you go on a vacation and you want to spend every waking moment with your family and stuff. Okay. I remember we just barely took a case. We met with what's going to be our client, a Japanese man with a rocking facial hair. And for some reason, somebody saw him do something and he claims that he didn't do it. Oh, by the way, spoiler warnings, I am on case 4 of Ace Attorney, so if you have not been all the way to case 4 of the first game in the Ace Attorney Chronicles, I should say, I totally understand if you decide not to come in. Alright, so we're just gonna begin. And episode 4, Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Why? Sometimes I wonder, why would you do that? Oh, thank you. Alright, did we converse with him? Let me see. We did. Alright. Anything we need to present to this guy? I don't think so, but let me check. Because otherwise we have to go elsewhere. Thank you again for this. Don't mention it. Oh yeah! I forgot! I have... I gave these people voices. Oh great! This is gonna be... Oh. Sorry, I didn't realize what I was looking at. Okay. There we go. Just making sure everything is nice and ready. Okay. Oh. Wait a minute. Oh, no, 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 no. What is this? Who is this? Oh, dear Lord. Wait. Really? Hmm. I'm sorry, I was trying to find something. I know, just coming to the realization that I have voices to. I completely forgot how Gregson goes. I don't listen too much on my old stuff because, as I told you, I don't like my voice. But I will try my best to get Gregson's voice proper. Don't mention it. I asked someone at a jar fish it out for me, but in the end, I didn't need it. Huh? Well, the case could hardly be simpler, could it? I don't need a Mac to work out what happened. You can throw it away when you're done with it. Cold. Okay. Is there any reason for me to examine this place? Are they gonna allow me to? Doesn't seem to be. Okay. Anything that I need to explore? No. Alright. So, with that said, I probably need to move elsewhere. Oh! Look at... Oh, this is adorable. Look at her. Look at... Look at Mikoto. Can we really visit, you think? Oh, pinch me, I'm sure I must be dreaming. 221B Baker Street, the home and office of the most famous detective in the world. We're going to Sean's suite. This is gonna be fun. Ooh, cutscene. Ooh, cutscene. Look at that. It's almost like this was made for the 3DS initially.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
More games should have like a British dub. Just saying. Until February 12:53 p.m. Sholmes' suite. Yeah, I know he's sweet, but I need to figure out his logic. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. But he's nowhere to be seen. It is as described in the story, Miss Susato. Susato-san? Susato-san? Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose there must have been, yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog until an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism! Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So, if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Oh, I can relate the fangirliness of this whole place. Please, don't mind me. She's obsessed. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine by me. Well, looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me? Is anybody home? I guess nobody's home. Oh, do we have a visitor? Oh, it's a little girl. Hello. Is this a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello. Wait. Aren't you? Oh, how rude of me. I'll go make some tea at once. Ah, well, she does have good manners. That's, phew. Unlike a certain other individual. I'm sure it's the same girl. Mr. Soto, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes. Isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Jones to take on his case. The King of Bohemia? King Wilhelm... Whoa, whoa, whoa. You expect me to say that line? You really expect me that I'm going to be able to say that line? Okay, but you're going to give me a couple tries for this one. King Wilhelm Gottsrich Sigismund von Ormstein. Of course, okay. King Wilhelm Gottsrich... Oh my gosh, is this German or something? King Wilhelm Gottsrich Sigismund von Ormstein, of course. That's my best. That's my best. I'm sorry if it sounds horrible. Moving on. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Okay, forget the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a moment and look over there. The tea's brewed, and I have freshly baked cake as well. Okay. This music is very adorable. It fits her. It fits her, I think. Ah! It's you. I knew it. Susan recognizes her too. Ah, there you are. There. Okay. I'm taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. It's the girl who turned up at the enemy's Gilda's trial in the defendant's antechamber. I've never been away from the Far East before. Poor you. Haven't you get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London? Yes, it was challenging. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. I'm trying to like get her a little higher pitch than normal, but remember, I'm not. Hey, Blazing, how's it going? It's been a while. I know it has been a while. I have I've tried. I'm trying to get back into it after 5 sleepless nights. Yeah, my voices are gonna be. Of course, of course. Welcome, come in, have a seat. Just taking a little bit of water. Oh, thank you. Is this supposed to look that color? Oh, my visit was great. I had a great time with my family. We've did a lot of wonderful things. We've we played around. We ate a lot. And I was able to catch up with a lot of my family. My mom, my aunts, my uncles, my sisters. I'm just glad to go there. I mean, I'm glad to be back home. But I'm so glad to have met them, to have been able to meet them after all, you know. I've wanted to see them since last year, but, you know, last year was 2020 and we do not talk about 2020. Yes. Yes, I do too. I don't know. I think it's a lost year. 2020 sounds like a lost year. Like, maybe 1 or 2 good things happened back then, but other than that, it's just like, I don't know what is what's 2020. We would like to. I know counting can be hard. Yes, counting can be hard. And don't even get me started on that stupid Petmas puzzle that appears everywhere. Oh my gosh. Ah, oh my. What a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're here to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Jones tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you? Who's Hurley? Oh, she's adorable, and the music fits her. Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, surely. Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger in the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's not on the errand again. Why Hurley, though? Here again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all these things, do you think? And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Because... Oh, silly me, I haven't introduced myself, have I? It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. Or Iris, I should say. Yeah, Iris. Should be Iris. Iris Wilson. Oh, wait a minute. Is she supposed to be the Watson of this pair? Like Holmes and oh. This just got a bit more interesting. Okay, I appreciate. Well, I appreciate gender bent Watson. Why not? Let's roll with this. I live here together with Hurley. Oh, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Did you say your name is Wilson? Oh, sorry. What's the matter with Suzuto-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Bruno. Got it. Wait. Whoa. Did you just... Susie? And Bruno. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. I'll bet. Alright. As always, it's Ace Attorney tradition. Iris, could I show you this? Oh, how exciting! What is it? Tell me all about it! Actually, I was hoping you might be able to tell me something about it, if anything comes to mind. Why would it? Well... No, I suppose it wouldn't. Yes, the girl. Tell me, I want to hear everything. Yo, that dude, Connor, welcome. How's it going? This hasn't gone according to plan. Okay, I guess we could talk to her. Or I could leave my audience just hanging there, just saying, you know what, I'm not gonna talk to her. Oh, wait, you... Don't tell me you waited for me to resume the series. Don't make me feel... Oh dear lord, you're gonna make me feel guilty now. You're gonna make me even feel more guilty because I'm not gonna be playing this game all the time, just on the weekends. I hope that's okay. I mean, I'm I'm just trying to structure myself a little bit, that's why. Anyway, I kind of want to move along, so... Oh, that's my plan. That is definitely my plan. I plan to play through both games. That's gonna be a good 60 plus hours of gameplay, and I just can't wait because a lot of people tell me. Yes, it does feel good. It does feel good. But I do want to say, I think it's gonna feel good. It feels good coming back. Oh, thank you. Of course, you know. I do hope and want to make sure I can play as long as possible, which is part of the reason why I'm doing the whole new structure, new schedule, so I can play for longer, but less days. And I keep repeating myself. I'm sorry. Also trying to avoid that little bit of burnout, because yeah. So let's continue this story, because I could keep talking forever, but we came here to talk with cute girl here, did we not? I thought so. Oh, I don't know your schedule, Phil Blazing. I don't know your... Like, I see you when you come in, but I don't know, like, oh, you do these days or something like that. So... Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, we're gonna have a little bit of an overlap on Sundays, but other than that, I should be fine, because I'm planning on doing Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So that would be great. That would actually work fine for us. All right. Yes. Yes. Moving along. Let's talk to cute girl here. So, it was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey. Yes, that's right. You're ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh no, not at all. I'm sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Although at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Oh! Like this? Oh! Iris down. Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Get it? Lestrade? Oh, Ginny. Speaking of gunpoint. You can bring it? You can lower it, please? We're just talking here. Oh, Ginny? Yes, she's a professional pickpocket. So we found out. It was very naughty of her to pinch my inventions like that. Are you referring to that trial disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. Yes, do that, Doofenshmirtz. Please. This girl's dangerous. Anyway, I brought Jeannie back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusted technician. Oh, go ahead, you know. Eat up, Bon appetit. I mean, there's a reason I eat right before coming to the stream, so I don't have those desires to go eat something or more. But go ahead, eat. Really, of course, silly. Wait, what? Did I just miss? Did I just like run up? Oh, you're technician. Okay. Hurley? Sorry. Yes, Herlock Holmes. We live here together. I had no idea the great detective has such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Oh? You ever had a nickname for your dad? I had a nickname for my dad, so. Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Holmes? Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. Very expensive indeed, very expensive. So it's delicious to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. Yep, can relate 100%. You're roommates. Oh my gosh, they were roommates. I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? Excuse me, what? Give me a second. 10 at last this year? Well, what of your mother and father? Oh, no. They're not around. Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is right there. They're not around. They probably went to get some cigarettes and, yeah. Oh, yes. There's something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Sissy. I am a great fan of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rand's magazine. Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on the ship. This is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. Sure. I mean, could happen. We know. My stories, you said. That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It'd be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Last night, he was here telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. He solved sounds a little too suspicious to me. So, I was in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came here. So you are the author? Yes. I'll let you in a secret if you like. I'm gonna call this latest adventure the Speckle Band. The Speckle Band. That's certainly very familiar. Of course. I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. That was Mr. Shone's first thought as well, actually. Yes, and of course. And of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but... I'm sure Blaisdell's enjoying their pizza. Just dandy. Without sharing with the rest of the class. I'm totally not shooting daggers at their name right now. Okay, moving along. It's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think. Don't you? Oh. So, you mean to say, are the stories about Mr. Shones they're publishing this Rand's magazine? all written by me? Yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever heard are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson. Suzuki-san's getting more and more worked up. Oh dear, I do not want to be behind. I do not want to be between these girls right now. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true too. I am a doctor of medicine. No. At 10 years old? Ryunosuke, are you new to this series? We had a prosecutor at 13. We... like, a doctor of medicine at 10 doesn't sound all that far-fetched in this series. At 10 years old? Well, that's quite incredible. But, oh my gosh, you're gonna cry. Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the settings slightly for the stories to be more compelling. And probably for some other reasons, but I'm gonna sit myself on that one. Yeah. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. It does, doesn't it? I suppose it does, yes. Poor Susato-san. She looks like a whole world just falling apart. Alright. Poor Susato. Maybe she should understand that stories are, you know, stories. Don't believe everything that's on the internet, kids. That's what Abraham Lincoln said. About before. Yes. What's in your mind, Bruno? Do tell me. How do you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London? I mean... Yes. Oh! And that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How do you know about all that? Okay, I'm gonna put a ban on chicken bacon ranch dog for now because you're gonna make me hungry, and I ate just before the stream, so. Just kidding, but man. Bon appetit. That sounds scrumptious, though. Oh, that's what you mean? Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted, although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. And she put the glasses as well. Or whatever that is. Where's Wilson's Panther percent? Her logic and reasoning spectacular! What? First of all, I knew already you were a lawyer, Runa. After all, I met you yesterday at the Orbellion Defendant's Antechamber. But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that? I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh. So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. Oh, she's good. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor. Tell me you were unaware of London's court affairs. The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I? Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you? Earlier today? Oh! They use those things to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. I didn't realize. And the rest time is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trials of Magnus McGilded, the two of you already had a cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. But how would you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me he'd caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume. Mr. Natsume. Now, Reno has that fancy Japanese sword. It's called a katana. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. And that is? You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. Could we ask you about the case instead? Please? Can we have her before instead of Sherlock? I want... There's a note on the mantelpiece that say the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his nose with a knife. You know, he is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Alright, back to you, Johnny. And we are all flabbergasted. Can we have her instead, please? I want her to be my companion and not Sholmes. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You managed to discern something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. Can you tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man? You will, won't you, Iris? Please? Please? If you know anything, please. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying? Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. But the police were waiting on him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems. Apparently a woman was stabbed in a quiet street somewhere in town. I keep hearing like the shutter of a camera, and I have to remind myself, that's the game. That's not somebody trying to take a picture of me. I hope. Oh well. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking stoop man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking stoop man. Mr. Natsume beyond any doubt. Soseki-san said he didn't see anybody else in the street at all, but it seems there were witnesses after all. Hurley used his great deductive power to determine the man's address. He was in a lodging room, very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking stoop man, shivering in fear. Huh. Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course he did. He's a great detective. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it apparently. Oh dear. I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. Oh my gosh. What's wrong with you guys? Well, what's wrong with the law system in the Ace Attorney series to begin with, but wow. That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. I suppose it is. Yeah, reasons. Whatever reasons they may be. It makes for a compelling game, though. I suppose it is. But in that case, I don't hold that much hope for Mr. Soseki-san. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guess, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene of the case involving Mr. of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Natsume? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Oh, yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Kitty, in that case, give Gregson this for me, will you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. And what's this? A 5-shilling piece in a postcard, it seems. Okay, we got Iris' postcard card for Inspector Gregson with a message on the back from Iris. I would investigate that. It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Good luck then. I'm gonna return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special plenty, so come back again soon. Oh, we'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Miss Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. Oh, come on! Are they gonna... Okay, to be continued. So what did we learn in this first part? Well... I don't know, it's just like... Oh wait, we already saved, right? We learned something at least. Just gonna take a small water break. So back in Briar Road. It looks as the police is still here carrying on with their investigation. Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible. Yes, and let's see if we'll take a break from his ships to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. Alright. Before we do anything, can I investigate this? Black, whatever he wants to know, I trust that won't be a problem. Iris Wilson. This is the 5-shilling piece, isn't it? I believe it's called a crown. Crown, sorry. Oh, shut up. You're gonna make me waste money on a barbecue pizza. I have food here. I don't need to spend money on barbecue pizza. Dang it, I'm already grabbing the phone and ordering pizza. This is all your fault. Yes, and you can train Skull and your detective to do whatever you want, which is a single one, apparently. Iris must be the... Dude, my roommate got me hooked on barbecue pizza. Before that, I thought, barbecue on a pizza? That's disgusting. Oh, Blaze started streaming? Oh, on Teresa, it's like, oh, I'm not even thinking. Sorry. But yeah. Yeah. Don't mind me, I'm a bit of a scatterbrain, but yeah. Yeah. I blame Blaze fully for that. But yeah, my roommate got me hooked on barbecue pizza and now I cannot look back. How much is 5 shillings, by the way? Was it really worth? Well, it's probably enough to buy all the ships and Inspector could possibly eat in a whole month. That's crazy. Yeah, Grixley likes some barbecue pizza, which I'm definitely going to get by the time I'm done here. Iris's little handwriting is adorable, isn't it? Yeah, she's so adorable I just want to pinch her cheeks. Oh no, keep going, keep going. I'm sure Pizza Hut will like you to keep going. Tells Gentleman in Black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Yes, the handwriting might be adorable, but the message is ominous. There's no room for sentiment there. I'm sure simply the way you're interpreting it, Miss Maruhala. Anyway, I do hope the Inspector will tell us what we need to know when he reads it. You don't think he will just make him munch piping hot chips until steam comes out of its ears, do you? Well, that wouldn't be an entirely terrible outcome. Probably. Let's talk to you. Oh, and there's nothing new to talk to you about. I guess let's just go straight for it. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Too much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign Gandabals, that's for sure. We have this for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson. Oh, what? For me? From her ladyship? Who is Iris Wilson? Now I'm curious. If a 10-year-old can make this guy take some pause. Huh. Her ladyship. Give that there, at once! Come on, hand it over! That's for me! Don't wait for me to give it you, will you? What's that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee, that's what it is. An appearance fee? I see, you mean... That's right, for the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me, every time. Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly. Of course, her using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I am sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh? Sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, far away. What do you want to know? Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ah, the little knife-wielding, mustache-panned fellow. Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel. Just over there, look. On the first floor of that house in the corner where that wreck of a bicycle is propped up. Well, that was easy. That is nearby indeed. If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. Young Garidab. Young Gary... I feel like I can understand the pun, but it just doesn't come to me. Right, well, if you see her again, make sure you give her ladyship my regards, do you understand? I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. You say that as you are clutching your fishing ships. Something tells me you're not too happy about saying that. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then. And long live her ladyship. Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left. Yeah, so then, shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings? And the controller decided to die. Yeah, give me a second. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that little thing. Definitely. Okay, so we know where to go. Oh, not examine, sorry. We're done examining. A new location has been added. We still haven't been here. Yep. Let's see what that awaits us. Huh. Is that mark supposed to mean like we've investigated everything there is to investigate on that place? That's actually kind of interesting. Shh. Shh. Don't talk too loud about the grape juice, okay? I don't want the people of the Prohibition coming into my stream, okay? Shh. So 19th of February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings. May I help you? Yes, would this be the residence of Mr. Young Geridab? Indeed it would, sir. And who, may I say, is calling? My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Sasaki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here. Oh! We would very much like to ask him some questions about a client. Huh. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Geridab. Did you see that, Mr. Susato? That was a real-life English maid. I know. As I understand it, anyone who's in English society employs a number of household staff. Just wait. Japan will absorb that maid aspect in the future. You will be ashamed of your generation, of your descendants. That was the first time I've ever seen one here in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better. It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it? We only need a butler, and the experience will be complete. Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Well, thank you for waiting. Mr. Geridab will see you now. This way. Hi, Mr. Crescent Moon. What's the dealio? So there's nothing. Okay, there. What the hell? I was just being curious and I just saw this. Look at this crockery display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it? Oh my, the genuine London dresser, isn't it delightful? No. Although the shelf seems to be broken and the crockery is... Oh dear, it's in pieces. It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that Shinaware justice. Ah, I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at? Yes, probably something like that. But let's not delve too deeply here. What happened there? Anyway, Mr. Half Moon, something other. Good day to you, young Geridab, at your service. Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer. 2 was excused not getting up. Took a shot in the knee a few years back in the Battle of... I mean, wonder you know? You were a proper English gentleman, and then you took a shot to the knee. Bravo. Bravo. Earned a medal for my pains, but I had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and downstairs now, I can tell you. Don't get out as much as you can imagine. Yes, it's quite a climb up there to the 2nd floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. Do you think so? Hey, I'm not the one who did the reference. Well, Mr. Garydeb, know that you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let those good people see it properly. Joan, fetch it! Oh! Ow! 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 That's it all, woman! Be careful! Oh, dearie me, I do beg your pardon. You already nearly took the skin off my hands. Yeah. Hands. I mean, the hands were in the line of fire, but I'm pretty sure it was not the only part of your body that could have... I shall be more careful, sir. So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lunching downstairs. Is that right? Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us. Only to please, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blightly. We've forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case was pretty much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, would you believe? Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Could have been. Didn't catch the shop's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. Oh, but you have a copy of Rand's magazine here, so... Huh? No. Anyway, the chef's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. So he's in Soseki-san's room. It's a belly nuisance, is what it is. This whole neighborhood's twitching and curtains now. I don't like all the fuss. It's jolly unsettling. Okay. So you're never gonna look at us straight in the eye. I mean, I don't think I want to. It kind of your body, your face shape kind of reminds me of Phineas for Phineas and Ferb fame, and they say the last thing you see before you die is Phineas looking at you straight ahead. So stay there, Mr. You. I forgot your name already. About Mr. Nasumi then, Mr. Garydeb, please do tell us. Oh yes, the Japanese shop. Only been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week? So we moved in very recently then. I have 2 lodgers most of the time, one on the ground floor and one just below us. The first floor became available a week ago, you see. Don't join it all, Joel! Do be careful! Oh my god. Poor thing. I'm pretty sure he no longer is capable of bearing children. Oh my goodness! I'm terribly sorry. I'll bet. I will bet. If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was shady sir from the moment I set eyes on him. What's the basis? Oh, why? Here we go again. He seemed to have a most nervous disposition. I was shaking and looking over his... Sorry. He seemed to have a most nervous disposition. I was shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Like, yeah, that would make me suspicious of somebody as well. I say to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's gonna do something untoward. And if I'm really wrong about anything, we won't be calling this man as a witness, that's for sure. Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Yes, yes, it was. And she's dying to tell us. Alright, Miss Maid, please do tell us more about this shady lodger. Had you noticed anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? On my word, yes! The man was shaded in an orchard. Wait, is that Flame? Could you elaborate? Flames on the... Oh, you mean flames on the... That would have been interesting. He's just drinking pure lava. I mean, tea, fire, not that much of a difference. And I just made enemies with the entirety of Great Britain. I'm sorry. Well, back to man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is. More than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookstop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else is not, and the house has gone to bed too. Oh, I see. The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed around 9-ish night. But I've never known the Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh. Oh. Something's going on with you, maid. Do you perhaps are interested in Mr. Natsume? I can put in a good word for you. I mean... I understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house, is that correct? That's right, yes. They're both below us, on the first floor and street level. Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example. Even the times they go to bed. Ooh. We got ourselves a stalker. Ah, here we go again. Good grief, Joe! Be more careful, woman! Oh my goodness, sir. I'm terribly sorry. I swear if these two become witnesses. Oh dear. Something... Here's flaming hot tea. Yeah, this is where McDonald's got their inspiration for that flaming hot coffee. The one that got them in that lawsuit. You're not telling anything. Okay, but tell me about what happened 2 days ago. It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Do you happen to look out the window around that time? The window? That window? Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over to Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Wasn't there anyone suspicious loitering nearby? 5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garrett household. So I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan? No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Oh, I see. Do you notice anything else out of the ordinary then? Such as... anything at all, even if it seems unrelated. Well... yes, was there something then? There's nothing particularly significant, but around that time in there... Ah! For the love of God, John, you're going to kill my progeny! Dear me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. Do be more careful, woman! Of course, sir. My gosh. If I may, Mr. Naruhala? Yes? I have a... sorry, I... Need a little bit of water, sorry. I have an exceedingly good memory as far as I remember. Nothing of any significance took place at that hour. Nothing at all. Oh, really? Mr. Gardup? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been. Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of... Ah! Don't touch it all! What's the matter with you, woman? Yeah, this lady is sounding more and more suspicious. So we'll see. Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. Was that down to a quiet and eventful meal, Joan? That's right, Gardup. Mr. Gardup. What's the matter with this two? You just can't get good help these days. Sounds like something's happened here in this room on the evening of the incident, but what? I wish I knew. So, I guess we're gonna talk about Mr. Natsume's room now. What you got for us? Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor. And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there even as we speak. Yes, Tomi Nat's his name. That I asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key. Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services? That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around? In Mr. Natsume's room, I mean. Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we? Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. Alright. I guess that's it for these dudes. I need to investigate this cannon. What the heck's with this cannon? That's a full-size cannon. What's it doing here? And moreover, how did they carry it up to the, I guess, the second floor? Oh my, it's real. I thought it might be a replica. That old thing. That's little more than a toy. Sorry? The army was selling it off when I retired, so decided to give it a new home. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. Really? Isn't it overkill? Be prepared, I will say. You never know what this twisted world is gonna throw at you next, boy. You could say that again. Do you think there might be trouble brewing, Mr. Gardup? Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. Dries them over the barrel, you see. You drive her well in the cannon there, Joan tells me, which rather proves my point, I feel. It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in shame. Dude. Once when I was a little kid, I took my father's pipe, put it in my mouth, and I just like I just wretched. That thing is... Well, it was disgusting. The taste of the pipe was absolutely disgusting. I don't know how... Like, I'm not a smoker. Like, no, nothing against smokers, but I just find the whole thing absolutely... Blah. I can't. I guess we have a new place to go. Thank you for telling me. Oh, this is kind of... This is one of those huge ones. Yeah. Also, I have asthma, and I would rather much keep my lungs as good as possible, which is why I try to not... Let me rephrase that. I am most likely never going to smoke. Just saying. But we're in a hoarder's place. What the heck is this? I guess it's Natsume's room. What? Just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I know. This looks awful. I suppose it's the mountains of old books are responsible for that. Susato? I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life. Susato, have you ever been to a library? No, me neither. It's so dark in here too. Why is that a thing? Is that the window over there? Is that the window over there? Well, it was the window, I think, yes. Once upon a time. For some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. Is this where Mr. Natsume lives? By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere, have you? No, that's true, but according to what Mr. Garrett told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. I have a sneaking suspicion I know where he is. Somewhere within this mountain. Okay. I guess it's time to investigate. Starting with the lucky cat. Oh look, it's a beckoning cat from home. It's a big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him. I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you brought in with your luggage? Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted a lucky charm. Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same. And this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him. It's not doing a very good job so far, is it? Yeah, that lucky cat. You mustn't say such things. I didn't say a word. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Ryunosuke, you need to learn that your family somehow can project your thoughts to everybody. Also, that lucky cat reminds me a lot of... What was the game? Mystical Ninja. Oh my gosh. That's an old game that I loved when I first played it. And I haven't played it since, what? Oh my god, since a long time ago. But one of the collectibles that thing has is a lucky cat. If you get enough lucky cats, I believe that gives you extra health. Kinda like Zelda. Yes, this is totally not me. What are you talking about? I don't have a thing full of trash right beside me. What are you talking about? No. Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. There are notes scrawled over them in English. Looks like the waste paper basket. Can we just call it a waste basket? It's easier for me that way. Looks like the waste paper basket is so full, they're just falling out. I think Mr. Natsume must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you? Or deeply averse to tidying up his mess. I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth. Take a wild guess. Just guess. Okay. Piles of books. Look at all those books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling. They're all works of English literature. And they all smell so musty. Yep. With this volume of books on hand, you'd never be short on reading material, would you? No. What a dreamy idea. A bad dream, maybe, for me at least. Mind you, I don't imagine the books that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again. So reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime. Just as the tea ceremony teaches us. I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Ryunosuke, look at the party you have. Of course that was going to happen. The desk seems to be wedged into a crevice between the mountains of books on either side. I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit here and read while stroking his cat. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well. Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your books. Ha! Oh, yes. Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look, at the date of the purchase 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m. Oh, that's the day of the incident. That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books. All right, so we got a piece of evidence. Second-hand book receipt. A receipt discovered in Mr. Natsume's room for some books that he had purchased from a second-hand bookshop before the incident occurred. Yes. Okay. Game. You have one job right now. Just the one. You need to make sure whether you win or lose now. Whether you are the best game ever or a bad game that doesn't deserve. Will you allow us to pet the cat? Or will the cat just leave? Wait. Yeah, that seems legit. Oh my, what an adorable little cat. Yo, Blaze. How's it going? I hope you didn't miss the cat. Cause cat should went away. Also, how was the food? I hope you enjoyed it. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master's away. Yes, we got a cat. We found a cat and we're trying to pet it. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. I don't know about that. He disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mickey, was it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain? Wait. I mean, if you add a little ghost jalapenos on your pizza, I'm sure it can be a little bit fire. I mean, ghost jalapenos are nothing, I think. Never had one. Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan. That's made me feel homesick now. You've barely been there for 2 days. Oh. Oh, that's understandable if you can't do like spicy hot stuff. Like my roommate is the same. Like they can't eat spicy stuff. Like the most I can do is like a spicy chicken from like Wendy's and stuff. But I like spicy stuff. I do like spicy stuff, you know. It's like it's a challenge for me. Like can I handle this bowl of pure death and fire? Of course. Oh, can I now? Can I? You say you stream tomorrow then. Interesting. I might just stop by a stream of yours. No reason, no reason. Just, you know, stop by, show support, and punishment will. I think I didn't read that one. Last line. Alrighty. We've only been in the country for 2 days. Yep. And the cat is gone, by the way. My word. Of course. So, bruh! Isn't that like every chat? It's like, we love to see the streamer's pain. It's like every chat always has shades of that. Even in the most wholesome streams I've seen. Yeah, it's like, you know he wasn't there before. I went once, he wasn't there. Now I pan again, and there he is. Where the hell did he come from? So we investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. Oh wait. And where the hell have you been? Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Aha, there he is. And where did he appear from? That's what I'm trying to figure it out, bro. He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope you won't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Please don't call him here. Oh. Ah, you two. Good day. Now, let me see. Where was it when... Where was that we met? Oh, Mr. Sholmes! We were together in the SS Buria. Ah, yes, of course, the Buria. And let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma Asogi. He died tragically. But you were a great help to us. Ah, yes, but of course. The case of Mr. Asogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it? Huh. Well, you seem to remember something of it at least. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Sherlock Holmes. Oh, what an honor to be remembered vaguely. It's like when you meet a celebrity twice, and it was like 2 years apart. It's like, and the celebrity goes like, "Oh yeah, you with the and yeah, nice to see you." Susato, you're a total fangirl, and you're just so transparent about this. This is Mr. Oh, no, my dear madame. Hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo and Mr. Susato. I need a drink. What the hell, bro? Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. I lose the first round. In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrive in London. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. I have a sneaking suspicion that's gonna be the case with Holmes throughout this entire game. So close yet so far. Sheds a tear. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So the apprehended Soseki-san in that short of amount of time. I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case had dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little. A little? It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can descend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest the shoe elbow out the useful ones. Honestly, that sounds interesting because you know, if you're gonna deal with a lot of cases, you have to push out whatever you knew from the previous case, so that it'll meld together. That actually sounds kind of okay, I guess. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom. You know, from an adventure entitled "A Study in Scarlet." Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately my associate pens them beautifully. So I'm pretty sure that probably... You didn't say that probably. He means Iris, I suppose. Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned. Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madame, I should be only too pleased, and this murky room is an apt place to discuss this murky case. Alright, Mr. Sholmes, I don't believe I showed you this though, so what about my armband? Mr. Naruhodo, please. Despite our aspersions to the contrary, I am a professional. If I am to unleash my detective powers on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash. I don't need you to make any deductions about it. I was just wondering if you might know... Mr. Naruhodo, as a professional, I insist that if I am to offer my opinion on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash. Why do I feel this is just a long con? I believe Mr. Sholmes has his eyes on an expensive copy of the complete works of Shakespeare. Yes, to stand on the stage and amid rapturous applause. That's a long been a dream of mine, as you know. I literally had no idea. Fine. Let's not talk about my badge. Wait, armband. But please, what led you to arrest Mr. Natsume though? We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines. But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean. What? I can't believe he was looking Susato stand squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you, I am not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. How? I assure you I have no recollection of accusing your stupid compatriot of the crime. But that doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. A man seen fleeing. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement of the scene. From the book place, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there is a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. So, you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? That I could not tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliophily. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No. Oh dear. Come on, all of us have had that moment we read that good book and we just forget the world around us. So yeah, I don't blame you for like wanting to read these books. I mean, there has to be something good in these books. Right? Right? Anyway, tell me, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Gerda, a retired military man. It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution, that is the services. And it was the first time I ever met a maid from the Great British Institution that is a service. And you don't have to copy Susato, just saying. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Yes, I read as much as in my Great Britain primer. And so conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to be token the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing? Sorry? Yeah, I am as lost as you are. Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelon of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. Goodness, how extraordinary! As you can appreciate, for those in the precarious boundary between middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. I had no idea, and it is precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs, specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garridab. Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. I am thoroughly lost on what he means to say, and you're not alone, Ryunosuke. But you know what? We'll just work with this. You know, this room could be great for an episode of Hoarders. What you got to say about that? This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later. Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one! Ah, but it's sooner or later, as I said. I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window. Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to the question is quite simple. Window tax. What? Nah. You just made that up. You just made that up. Window tax? What's that? Surely not a tax on windows. Precisely that. Oh my goodness. Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in the country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps, rapidly closed windows up. While the rich opened windows here, there, and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. Imagine that. The rich giving their tax money to the government. Imagine that. That is just fantasy. Now you're making it up. Now I know you're making it up. The rich paying their taxes. Please. How awful and unjust. Forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So some 40 years ago, on the thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see. In squalid lodgings such as this, for example. No way, it isn't it true? Oh my gosh. I mean, this game does have some level of historical accuracy. I mean, I'm not saying this game is like, you know, a history lesson, but, you know, I'm astounded at some of the things that are actually historically accurate. Like, Window tax, apparently. I suppose Mr. Nasuma's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging, and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price. Because the room is so awful, I should think? Apparently, Mr. Nasume only moved here about 1 week ago. Yes, that's correct. However... Okay, sorry, that was Ryunosuke's line, wasn't it? Yep. I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Huh? Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I mean, I'm curious now. Well, I believe I told you all I can now. Well, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Wasn't that your intention to become a practitioner of law? Oh, you remember that, didn't you? Will you perhaps be offering your service in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well, then I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized. And so promptly, too. Thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? Yes. Trust. Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. Oh, but... I thought that was why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Ah, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to having seen the same man commit a crime. That is all I can say. Ah, and one more thing. Oh? What is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us! I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Gary Davis. Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays in my mind in relation to this case. Mr. Naruhodo, as yet our investigations haven't covered nothing that could help Mr. Natsume's innocence. No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probe a little deeper into Mr. Garridaf's secret. Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you the very success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, thank you at least. Busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Are you serious right now? Hey, he's back to reading. Of course he is. Sheesh. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, yes, so true. To be or not to be? That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. To be or not to be brushed off? That is the question, and the answer is all too clear. Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we? Yeah, he doesn't want to tell us anything, and the cat doesn't want to be petted, so I guess we're done here. I do like, again, I'm gonna say this again, I do like how Misusato has some blurb to say when about the places we've been to. And saying something like, we haven't been to this place in a while, it's kind of a clue. Hey, go here. "19th of February, Mr. Garridaf's room." Okay. You have to tell us something. Oh, you pair again. Yes, and before we continue, let me just grab a little bit of water. Man. Tell me, what's the detective chap? I forget his name. Still hard at work down there. Mr. Sherlock Holmes? Oh yes, rings a vague bell. All the detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Holmes is in his element down there. You can say, jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. Ah, here we go again. Joan, now then, why don't you tell me what? For the armpit that woman, will you wash with your bowl? What your bowl while doing? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you all to take your leave, if you'd be so kind. Yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all of your assistance. Flaming hot tea. Yeah, the tea that comes from the fiery depths of hell itself. Why am I... Hold up. Okay. Never you mind that. Let's continue. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with drunk foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you can see yourselves out. Alright, according to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Caradeb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open out to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging? Oh my gosh, are you serious? What's with this guy? Oh my gosh. I want to investigate this, but it's not letting me. Before I go to him, though. Look at that enormous screen. It must have been put there deliberately, sure. Surely. Yes, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it, I wonder? I'm gonna have a very quick look. Just a little peek. Maybe let's not, Mr. Soto. Oh, totally. Seems legit. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea. Oh. Okay, fine. Huh, what's it doing over there? Mr. Sholmes! Aha! We hit again, my dear fellas. Oh dear lord, what is going on now? Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Sorry. Hello, Sholmes, sir. At your service. Whatever are you doing here there by the window? Fine, given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Just sadly, it's sure for us the room downstairs undoubtedly is. It lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up there. Well, keeping an eye on what's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering? No, Ryunosuke, that's not what you do. Oh, another thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Oh, we're doing this now. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect he'd be going through that again so soon. Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Miss Naruhodo. I think so. Please unshackle me again, dude. There is just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Mr. Garidab, although I would say you are a military man of considerably distinguished service. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first rate. Huh? I'm afraid, sir, that it's all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by a careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon? The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. What? Huh? And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Oh. Listen, I don't know how to look. The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. I mean, who wouldn't when you get blasted by such outlandish stuff? Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Shum's conclusions are both spot on. How could you possibly... How could I possibly know? You mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Sure you are. And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Here we go. Here we go with the great deduction. Let's see what kind of stupid things he can pull off. So, the nature of the beast. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see. That fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? For a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. And a bit of nonsense. Yeah, sounds about right. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garidab, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that's run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. You really think a lion is inside this building? Are you mental? Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. The fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great in fact that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you try to keep in this very house. What? Yet, living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Dude, if a lion had just rampaged through the room, I think that type of damage would have been very lucky indeed. Well. Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrified lion, Mr. Garidab, at Batty's Circus, a traveling show currently surging in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. Yeah, jubilantly isn't the word I would use, but I don't. A lion? Seriously? Now, Mr. Carrot Deb, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. What are you doing, Carrot Deb? In that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is invariably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. And in fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man! I simply... But what we must ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it's the pile of bills that give rise to the pain you suffer. You know, that would actually not be that out of the question. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. 4 cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, then, Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last, unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can clearly be seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen cape, if I am not mistaken. Oh dearie me! What could possibly cause such a destructive outburst? Oh, she very sus right now. This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. Ah! There is no creature more dangerous in this earth than a beast with an unsatisfied appetite. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Are you seriously? No. Bro, no. Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk for its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion one saw in India. Yeah, no, don't spill the tea, please. This concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. Everything is wrong. Just everything is wrong. What is the matter with you, Joan? Your paw is calling hot tea all over me. Oh, I am sorry, Mr. Carrot-Dab. I'm afraid I didn't notice. And there you go. Spilled tea. The tea has been spilled. My deductions can be startlingly sharp. This stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too. Stop it with the pawns, please. Oh. Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it? Again? Well, your deductions just now Do you really think a lion could fit inside a room for this size? Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? That's okay if you forgot. Maybe you just can just refresh your mind and enjoy this story all over again. That's what I'm here for. That's what we're here for. But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garridab and his maid would have been hurt, or worse. Ah, that is where you were struck. No doubt the former military man held his own against that beast, using the large cannon. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus. And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe that I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that, irrespective of the race and breeding, whenever anyone lands in Great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. Oh, what a glorious notion! Well then, Miss Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again. Really, is it? I had a feeling that was coming. A light massage, that's all Mr. Shone's seductions need. You can do it! Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusted partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Nasume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. Let us start again, from the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes, logic and reasoning spectacular. Okay, so let's do some course correction here. So, what is the nature of the beast? Okay, so then we take a detective to sea. Fearsome beast and the rampage like within just 4 walls. I'm just gonna skip a little until we get to that. Thus we are faced with a question: what form may this beast take? Remember to increase the candid. Let us directly to the answer, which he says is the lion's iron statue. Hold. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you observe Mr. Garridab's reaction, it really seems as though something is sticking the realm out here in this room. Yes, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what is it then? We must follow Mr. Garridab's case. That will lead us to the true answer. Okay, thank you. So where's Mr. Garridab? What's that? Let me examine this. What is this photograph? It appears to be from Mr. Garridab's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. How unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply here. So I think the newlywed bride... Let me go back to this soon. I do believe that that might be it. Or is there anything else that we could examine? No, I do believe it's a photo frame. Okay. Before we continue... Oh, I can't save. Damn it. You can't see the bride's face at all. No amount of cracks could hide this woman's plump form. I think powerful would be kinder than plump. Mr. Powerful, Mr. Hello? Yes, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. Naruhodo, please. Quit where you're ahead. Please. Not someone you want to upset, that's for sure. Oh look, have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it? Yes, that's an unusual design. It looks like some sort of embellished sunflower. This must have been when Garrett was still in the army. He seems to be carrying his rather stout bride effortlessly and beaming a smile at the same time. I suppose he was very strong in his younger years. Hard to imagine how now he's as thin as a rake. Oh, but you don't know. Would this be correct? I'm not sure.
Take that!
Yes, it is. What do you know? The true nature of the beast that's run rampant here is revealed by the nearly white bride. Ah, precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this frame print pictures your wife, Mr. Garrett. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms, and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Oh. Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution could be considered to be described as a beast. Honor might be stretching a point. More like women are gonna slap you across the face, Sholmes. Just saying. Too late. The fact remains that the beast wished so clearly established this room was your wife, Mr. Garrett. Shielding traces of a well rampage is still very much in evidence. Oh hell! Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? I don't know. I'm gonna skip around. Yeah, because your shield rouse. Your dress bucket gives us. Okay, so. The poor fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh dear. Anyways, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garrett anywhere. But it seems that there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garrett's wife could be. Okay. Yep. I figured as much. Look at this something. She's wearing a very large ring, look. Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring. It looks like it's on there for life too. I can't imagine it was light off a finger of that size. Naruhodo, please, you're gonna get killed. You keep saying these things. Oh my gosh. That's something to think, Miss Naruhodo, not to say. Do you know Mr. Garrett's wife in the photograph had the ring very much like this one? There was a large sunflower design as well. Really? You have a great memory for these things. It was 2 minutes ago, boy. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? Coincidence, you say? Alright, so we present this then.
Take that!
So, your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Ah! Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown in the hand of Miss Garrett's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Garrett's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garrett herself. Oh my word! Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you already summarized, this is the wife, yes? My Joan. I'd rather let herself go, I must say. She was a pelican. Oh! She did not appreciate that. I'm pretty sure that was on purpose. It would it would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you're a retired military man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to deploy me. Would that be correct? That's not right, I tell you. I was second lieutenant in the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing even a chef can even afford to have a single mate in his employ. Ah, yes, here in London one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though my considered option, such concerns about appearances are a folly. You mean Mr. Gary Dabb has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Gary Dabb? Only in company, obviously. But listen here, this must remain a secret. Alright, tip-top secret, please. Alright, so the raging wife. Nature of the beast is the raging wife. This is why you don't have a girlfriend on Sholmes. Oh dear lord. Let's go with part 2. Now, Mr. Garrett, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Ah, indeed. Okay, it's my post. I'm sorry, I already said this, so let's just continue. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain by the supporting arm. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garridab's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mrs. Garridab is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true! So perhaps the supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has another significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garridab's pain is tangible, though. What could opposed to this really signify? What reveals Mr. Garridab's pain? Oh my... Bro! Oh! What did you do, you cad? Oh my, look at the bright red mark! Yeah, this is what I was talking about when I said... Oh, sorry. Gosh, that's quite something. It's clearly made by somebody's hand. Ah, this is what I was talking about when I said that Naruto Huddle should have had like a faint red circle when he slaps his face in court. Something like that just like fades away after a second or so, because it does give us the proper effect. Yes, Mr. Garridab has been slapped on his face, it seems. Hard. I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing? Take a wild guess. Oh, there's a very limited number of candidates, I say. Alright, so this is it.
Take that!
This is the one. My god. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. Do you like to have your cheek slapped, Mr. something or the other? And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark, your cheek refuses to fade. It was you, Madame Joan Garridab. Well, well, yes. You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Ah! The blazes. How do you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. I'm gonna skip a little bit. You'll start to... Why were you subjected to such a violent lap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Gerda to fly in a rage. We need to follow the directions of your gaze to find the answer. Okay, pile of bills that giving rise to the... Okay. Didn't Mr. Sean say the bills were all for his lion fault in further? Yes, but now we established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Gary Debs. Well, Miss Naruto! She's a person, not a thing! Yes, well... She's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. Ow. Ow, I don't know what I'd do if I ever get slapped so hard it would leave a mark for days. I don't know. We'll see. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'd love to know the answer to that question myself. Alright, so... They're looking this way, so what is this? What is this bookmark, though? What is this bookmark? What is this? Oh! Oh! Mr. Garrett! Wait. I need to check the bookmark first, but... What is this bookmark? Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look! Mr. Garrett is clearly an avid reader. Wait a minute. What is this? I don't think this is a bookmark, he says. Oh, no, so it isn't. It's a note reading in a woman's hand. You might want to look at that a little more closely, Susato. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Excuse me? Excuse me? And look, this is a signature there. Lip marks, made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate romantic gesture. Don't get any ideas, Susato-san. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then, huh? Excuse me? What is going on here? But is there anything about this broken plate that we need to check, though?
Take that!
No, wait! Wrong. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, let's just enjoy this one then. What causes the most pain to any man? The answer, of course, is breaking one of your favorite plates. What am I gonna eat my dinner of now, you cry? But no one hears your sorrow. What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion? Oh, I suppose it's supposed to be a logical reason and spectacular, so I'll contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. Sorry. Yeah, I clicked the wrong thing. I just wanted to see what the thing was. Okay. Wait, sorry. I think I just... Okay. So yeah, it is this thing. Let's just present it then. Let's just...
Take that!
So, love note. Yes, it is this love note that was giving rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Oh, look at her! Oh my gosh, she's ready to kill somebody. Oh no. Perhaps the sender of this note is a certain Miss Mary. Is the fly on the ointment there? Oh my god! Oh wow! But I don't know the belly woman. You don't know her. Ooh. Now the spilled tea makes more sense. The note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. Reservation with you, lover. Yes. It was just in there, you say? That's right. What a bizarre! A likely story. Now listen here, young little thing. I explain all the time. I bought the book at a second-hand place. I didn't know it must already have been in there. Oh, sure. That's what they all say. It was a second-hand book. This isn't a hickey, it's a birthmark. I'm just gonna go to the liquor store and buy some milk. That's what they all say. So, the previous owner of the book using the note is a bookmark, you mean? That's right, that's what it is. A likely story. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John. A likely story. Are you questioning my name now? Oh, this woman. Hell hath no fury. And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you release the beast with a most ferocious bite. Now, oh my gosh. I just noticed the jiggle physics on her cheeks. Those are some serious jiggle physics right there. Now, in a final bit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? Yeah, a tigress, you could say. The aftermath of which can be clearly be seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken. Oh dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the tower of cakes. But surely Mr. Scarabit didn't hit the carpet? You? No. No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray in this room is in... Wait. That the state of disarray that this room is in is... Okay, yeah, I thought it was a typo, it's not. But the state of disarray in this room is in, is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So, this is the last part of Mr. Shaw's seduction that we need to fix. We only follow Mrs. Carrington's case, and that will lead us to the real answer. Alright, let's see what we can see. Yes. So, not this, but is there anything else other than what I think it is? Let's look at the candlestick and see what we can. It looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Why is it that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the three missing from its holder? Yep. Pretty sure this is what we need to do.
Take that!
Yes! This wasn't as difficult as the other one, though. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only to look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my good fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are Clearly visible. Indeed, indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly gave the truth away. You first said there were bite marks, like you couldn't see the scorch marks. Scorch marks? Scorch marks? It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Garridan's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, multiple I would say, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder, and in seconds the carpet was alight, and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, for the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. After the sparks of the marital discussion flew, this room was the scene of a fire. You can't deny it. Come on. Question is, what does that have to do with anything? Oh, he stood up. Mr. Sholmes, sir? I salute you! Knockout! So carpet scorched by a small fire. At least it was a small fire and the whole thing didn't go up in flames. Alright. Elementary, of course. Totally. Is this dash long winter nights, you know? Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all the good novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material. For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And this is most certainly enough. This. Here we go again. And the carpet was destroyed by the fire when a candle fell on the floor. Afraid to say was happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you, I guess. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The poly furniture started going up as well. We had to hide the mess behind the screen for the time being. Oh. Over there, Mr. Garrideb. Well, well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. Okay, so the fire was a little bit worse than I really thought. Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Gosh. Then the wise started hurling things at me. What a terrible sight it must have been. There was I back up against a window under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. Interesting. The Lion's Pride. Ah, yes. The notorious love of big cats coming true again. I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage. I guess. Mr. Show's deductions turned out to be correct once again. Yes, with heavily modification. It can only be described as the Great British Wonder. I tell you, it was total carnage, flames everywhere, and the old stick in full fettle. Out of interest, what time of the day was that? Not sure if I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think. So, at exactly the same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window at the street below. Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. He was not that far off. I mean, he said that a giant, like a big lion, came into the room and ate the carpet. Just think about that for a second. I mean, it helped us eventually, but the whole blighty could have been flooding outside my window that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dash thing. Oh, really? Gloop, 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 gloop. What is it, Joan? Anybody? I'm gonna see a thing? You just reminded me that probably Sholmes is just gonna tell Wilson his side of the events, and that's what's gonna go in the book. Like Sholmes figures out that that somebody in London was hiding a I was gonna say bear. Actually, bear might be a little bit more interesting. Londoner was hiding a bear discovered by Mr. Sholmes. That's gonna be the next book. Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. What can I do for you? Well, I think we got to the bottom of Mr. Garydev's situation now, but what does it have to do with Mr. Nasima's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man would be hiding something, I could not be sure whether the secret would prove to be of relevance or not. It's Sholmes. Of course it's unbearable. Also, thank you. I just knew you were gonna say that! No, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only 2 categories. Those relevant to the case, and those not. Makes sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Excuse me? Waiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no! Is it that time already? If we're to accept Mr. Nasima's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. Oh dear, so that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'd like to take yourselves to bidding us farewell now? I must prepare supper for Mr. Garydev. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Soseki-san will be waiting for us. And I'm gonna have to give him an answer. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen now. Am I supposed to accept this? Wait. When are we supposed to go to the prison? Stand, Mr. Naruto. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a car. Oh. What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garydev's house. Huh? What the hell? Who the hell are you? Excuse me. I'm sorry. What the hell are you? From which Renaissance fair did you escape from? You are Domega's stupid little brother, aren't you? Oh my god. Guilty! Guilty, he's guilty. Forget it, he's guilty. I said it already. I don't even need to tell anything, he's guilty. Yeah, I know. Perfectly. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what voice to give this guy. Okay. I know enough, old man. Fall to thy prayers. What are you calling an old man, you rum-looking mimini? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy. What's the ratio, fella, huh? What are you on about? Excuse me? What? Who are you now? Also, mighty chin, dude. I'm sorry, it just looks as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhado, is a lawyer, you see. Huh? A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'll be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. Fine. I'll be on my way for today. But you mark my words. This ain't over yet. Get thee to a nunnery. Do I look like a blobbing nun to you? Oh my gosh. This game keeps delivering. Begun, Ethan. Yes. No. I want the Sheen man. I want the Crimson Sheen here again. Not you. I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fairest maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. He looks like a chess piece. I don't think Fool is a chess piece. Like maybe in like house rules there could be one of these, but man. Like he's 2 steps away from being Kefka's cousin. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Garridan residence? Oh, fairest maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. I'm referring to the king piece, but okay. Yeah, I understand. I can see that little bit of a royal blood, especially the royal look, I should say, especially with all the gems and the purple and all the fanciful things. But it's like, I don't think I'm gonna just outright say that he's probably not royalty, or even close to royalty, or even close to like being dignified. He's just pretend. He's probably an actor. If I were to say, he's probably an actor. just a buffoon trying to, you know, pretend that he has some sort of royal blood or something like that. So Mr. Garridan mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives in the first floor? Oh yes, a gentleman named Natsuma. Oh, more worthy a polemis in my battle of words than there could there be. Sorry? Battle, did you say? Who is the stronger? Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I spar long into the night. I did not need that mental image in my head. Thank you, now die. I see. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. I'll tell you when you're older, Susato. So, fair maiden. Oh, so good, gentleman. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. I didn't really understand him, but I think He's returned to his room. It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Sasaki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garida house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Well, let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So we're back in the prison with Mr. Paranoid here. I forgot what voice that I gave him though. Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Welcome student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I can't believe you came back! I'm so... Oh yeah. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no. Think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would part with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nipponese! Yeah, he's about as insane as the other guy. I can't help it. Oh no, let's not get carried away. I quite agree. Oh. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. I think I know who this guy is, but... On the other hand... Oh, of course it's you! It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. Oh! It's you! The miserable rotten spy! Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything, per se, save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloom-filled room, and having amassed the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. I don't know. I think Mr. Sholmes is... I think Sholmes is a ghost. That's the only way he can appear everywhere. That or he's a mutant. Gloomful room. Gloomful room? Gloomful room? At least your accommodations here offer a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior room. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you! Herlock Sholmes! I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed legends. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned! Is it be damned or bedamned? What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Moustache's words. Be damned. Well, I'll be damned. What? Curse? A curse of a wholly appropriate description, wouldn't you say? For the man's lodgings are indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Alright. I mean, it might be a different, like, pronunciation depending, because, you know, American, British, or maybe some other part of the world. Depends. What time is it? Huh, shouldn't be that late. Anyway. Mr. Nesame, what do you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no! Why are you looking so grave? You've been making me nervous! I was just getting carried away. That's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no! What do you mean? Please tell me! Summarize it succinctly in 60 salient words! No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness, that can't really be true! That was 16 words exactly! That is why you are crying. Oh my gosh, Soseki. Yesterday, Mr. Naruto had successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGilded. What? I honestly thought that Mr. McGilded, you know, since he's dead already, he's dead. I seriously thought that Mr. McGilded was going to be like the final boss character at the final case of this first game. But I guess if he really is dead, well. Also, that is too much teeth. Come on, cover your teeth. Come on. Ah, I am impressed, Miss Susato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have... surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lorvin Six killed the man himself? Oh, no, he couldn't have, surely. Sholmes? You have some wonderful notions. Oh, this music. Oh, see, I love the music in this series, and this music is magnificent. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. When was the last time we had a prosecutor who was actually the murderer? And who was that prosecutor equated to because of his looks? It is shin stroking time. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Oh, of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? Oh, okay, we're gonna talk about the Reaper now. Oh boy. Ben Six is quite an exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Oh, that's good. Oh, poor guy. Soseki-san looks like he's gonna cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for the matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhanded means, those who want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly, it's from time to time, my dear. Madam, it is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright? However, those impacted by Lorvin 6 cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my! Though the education may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom. Within months, they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? How? By all manners of misfortunes, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drowned. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome with a raging fever. Or perhaps they are attacked by highwaymen. No. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh boy. This is just doing wonders for this guy's poor mental state. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Okay, so what now? I knew it. I'm dead, total done for a doomed. Oh, poor guy. Alright, we do need to talk about those cursed lodgings, because that might actually be a very important clue. Let's see. F in the chat. Yes. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Gerard's house, I assume. Do you mean to say do you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now. It's been a year since I came to Great Britain. But I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely having been away from homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times. Most recently to the room in Briar Road. A week ago now. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, the room is cursed. Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, if you have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it in the first place! Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. I mean, you mean the room really is cursed then? Ever since I moved into the windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I'm awake feeling as though I've been choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm printed a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits! Thank you for the alliteration. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really no one at all? Thoughts? Penny for your thoughts. It is. Yes, he is really cursed. I just think he's just cursed. I don't know what to say. To believe, yes, to believe. So, What is there to believe? Mr. Sholmes? Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what can I do for you? Gives Mega F. My gosh, Death, dude, you already just sentenced this guy. Man. It's about the case in the SS Buria, if you recall. The Buria? The Buria. Ah, that case. The one with the snake? Well... Yes? At that time, I was a suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is, why? Why do you believe in me? See, yes. You mean... Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room? Well, if you like, yes? I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said, I didn't do it. That's all it took. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I mean, that happens to me too, especially with games that I played like a while back. Like I do remember the big story beats, but like the details and how one part leads to another, I sometimes forget. So it's always like a very good experience. Like for example, there's a game I want to play, Xenosaga. I haven't played that in a long time, but you know, I am kind of curious about the English patch still. Like, I still want to see if the English patch, like, what... Wow. Wow, interesting. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Yeah, what are you talking about? I made up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. Gosh darn it. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment. Nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning, whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right! He's right, Lockham student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Whether or not I can believe in myself. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. You were so right, Kazuma. Okay. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? He's like, please take me. Please. Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? Please take me to eat. You're not gonna take me, are you? Mr. Nesume? If you like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Oh no, he's... Here comes the music. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in? The defendant, justice, or the truth? How to believe even? But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Nasume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope that you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate in someone who will listen to me. In my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Nasume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes. I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. They had to show that for one last time for this chapter. Mr. Sato? Yes. Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. Let's go! The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily in my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me. Mr. Shones believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Suzuki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him. To fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom. With all the strength I can muster. That is the end of this part. And we will continue this on the next stream. Next time. Next stream. Tomorrow. We go to court. Ah, I am so excited. Woo, I am excited. Ah, this is so cool. Okay. Okay, that is amazing. I can't wait. This is getting real cool. And I just love how the characters were in this part. Okay, so thank you so much for being around here. Thank you so much for enjoying this with me, coming into this ride with me, because I am so happy to play this game finally. I keep saying the same things, but it's true. It's true. I just love this game, and I love that I have you for a co-pilot to help me along and to, you know, make it even more fun. So let's wrap it up here. I'm Nin Cobra, and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful, excellent day. Okay, and goodbye.